So I got to ask you, if you don't take care of yourself, who's going to do that for you? Hey humans, Coach Nate here with another mindful focus to share with you. Today I want to talk about why self-care matters and taking charge of your well-being. There's a misunderstanding around self-care. Self-care is not selfish. Selfish is me only. Self-care is me first. We currently live in a time where it's go, 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 do, 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 push, 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 this hustle mentality of just pushing ourselves to the limit and beyond, and it seems unfortunately to be a trend, cool, preferred, the right thing to do. This has become socially acceptable, in other words, to the point of exhaustion. People are wearing themselves out, neglecting themselves, trying to do it all because, well, everybody else is doing it. Well, everybody is barreling towards a cliff. You know the rest of that one. Neglecting yourself, not taking care of yourself, not performing, giving yourself self-care is a one-way road that always, not sometimes, not occasionally, always leads to burnout, overwhelm, frustration, anxiety, depression, fatigue, irritability, bitterness, not being on your A game, all of those pleasant feelings that I'm sure you can relate to at some time or another. It may not be the situation that's causing the emotional response that you're having. It may be that you've pushed yourself beyond the limit, that you've not taken care of yourself. Your patience level has decreased significantly, and now that is the proverbial straw that broke the camel's back with you, causing conflict in relationship, communication, dealing with something that was avoidable. Now, that's not to judge. That's not to make you feel worse. It should give you hope, because that means that there are things that can be done to help prevent bad things like that from happening. Unlike physical exhaustion, which, can be fixed in a good night's sleep. You've ever moved and done something, some aerobic activity, exercise, and you physically were exhausted, got a good night's sleep, all handled, taken care of, great. Yeah. Mental fatigue, not so much. It's not cured with a good night's sleep. Mental exhaustion creeps up ever so slowly, just little bit by little bit by little bit by little bit, and bam, you hit the wall. And when you hit that wall, you know it, you feel it, and it's very difficult to shake. It can take time, generally not a good night's sleep. It can take days, weeks, months, or longer. And that's not where you want to be. It's a miserable place to be. I think you would agree. Further, neglecting yourself mentally, we're talking self-care, can lead to both mental and physical problems. There are studies that suggest that upwards of 83% of illnesses are a direct derivative of stress. I once had my doctor, after a series of tests to find out how I was, and didn't really see anything back then, way back then, but said that he said it's stress. What you're experiencing. I laughed. He didn't. He said stress can kill you. Stress can mimic many of the major diseases that are out there and take you out. Still didn't listen, but I am now. All right, so how do we let go, live now, win? Coach? Well, let's talk about that. You don't expect your car, your motorcycle, electric vehicle especially, your phone, your laptop, any device that you possess, use, to go on continually, repeatedly, constantly without ever needing a break, refueling, recharging, replenishment. And if you did try to do that with some of them, what would happen? It would die. It would stop working. Some can start working again with a recharge. But I pretty much feel fairly confident that if you got in your car, way out in the desert, away from other people in a safe place with a helmet on and drove like 100 miles an hour constantly for a few hours, you might need to buy a new car, just depending on what you have. The point is this: if you don't decide to take the time to rest, your body will do it for you on your body's terms and timing and way, which I can pretty much guarantee you won't align with your timing preference and way. It'll most likely be the most inopportune time, and you're lucky if it's just a recharge versus a now you're disabled. You didn't listen. This is the body talking. And so now we're going to put you in timeout for an extended period of time. In some cases, you may lose privileges to certain appendages, aspects, physical. Your quality of life could dramatically decrease if your body has to make the decision instead of you. So making time for self-care is a way to refuel, recharge, reinvigorate, to reset. It's not an option. It should be considered mandatory. There's that saying where you should always, when it comes to responsible financial money management, always pay yourself first, then pay your bills, and then pay other things. Now, many don't follow that, but it is sound advice. Self-care is a way to pay yourself from your energy reserves first, and then what's remaining goes towards the other things, responsibilities, tasks, areas. And yes, self-care is many times doing something, a activity like journaling or gratitude or laughing or drawing or painting or hanging out with friends or having a favorite meal, laughing out loud, going on vacation, going to the spa, going for a walk, resting, going to an exercise class, texting a friend, connecting with family, again, socializing, reading a book, doing something creative, laying down. You want me to keep going? Self-care is you investing in you for what you desire, what brings you joy, what you feel good about, something that you enjoy doing. And it could be big, like a trip or a cruise, or it could be very small. It could be, I'm going to take this moment in time to just breathe. I'm going to stop the ride and get off on the ride and just take a few moments. Why? Understand that, yes, while self-care is often doing something, self-care is also doing nothing. And sometimes doing nothing is doing something. Just to sit, close your eyes, and breathe. This is something you can do, not while driving, but at work, at a desk, in a very busy environment, even toxic. You can step away, you can go to the restroom, you can leave a meeting, and just settle your mind and breathe and feel yourself and be in the present moment, as opposed to going. Because we are not Energizer buddies, and even the Energizer bunny needs battery replacement. The point there is many small doses of self-care can be the equivalent of a big dose of self-care. You can do a whole lot of little self-care moments throughout in and around the day that can be the equivalent of a 14-day cruise, or sitting on an island somewhere under a palm tree watching the waves come in and just relaxing without any electronic devices or email or voices you don't want to hear, just you and nature. And that's very peaceful, and I think I'm going to go there now. Oh, I need to finish what we're talking about here. Even small doses are better than none. And that you can do at any given time or place. You can be driving and think thoughts of gratitude. Remain focused, but changing our disposition. And that is a habit. We got into the habit of not doing it. They talk about the number of times kids laugh and then a few number of times we do as adults. We learned to not do what our body needs, wants, to give ourselves self-care. So we can unlearn that bad habit and relearn a good habit. And that is an investment into your well-being, which is priceless, irreplaceable, not available on any shelf or for $19.99 on TV. You get one you. What's more important than that? Just sharing some insights with you. Feel free to try them or toss them. Both of those can be correct answers, but which one is something only you can determine for yourself. If you like this content, please give a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I post additional content like this, and share this with somebody who you feel will benefit from it. And as always, remember to let go, live now, and win.